First of all, salary. Then we will check the commissions.
It's not as easy as people think to avoid.
Some banks told us that real estate company is very risk profile.
That's the disadvantage of the business owners.
Mostly bank focusing on the company profile.
Is it true?
It's possible,
How much is down payment?
For different type of clients, we have different requirements.
Welcome to Dubai Property Pulse channel, and today we are talking about hot topic, how to buy property in Dubai without using your own money. To help us with that, we have a special guest, Daria. She's the mortgage consultant.
Let's start.
Let's start.
And I think the first question that everybody wants to ask is how much is down payment to buy the property, the mortgage for residents and non-residents in the UAE?
Okay, yes. Of course, it's main questions because, people when coming here and want to take mortgage may think, do they have enough money for purchasing the property? If we'll speak about the residents who are working in the company who has salaried profile, in this situation, we need to have 20% down payment of the property price. If we will speak about residents but who has company here, they're owners of the company. In this situation, they need to have down payment 40% of the property price. For non-residents, there are same conditions. We need to have 40% of the property price for down payment.
20 and 40. And if it is the second property they purchase, so the second mortgage, the down payment amount is going to be higher.
Yes. For second property, if you want to buy second, third property, you should have minimum 40%.
So first property 20 and then 40.
Yes.
But if you are non-resident and you already paid 40 for the first property, then for the
second
second
will be also 40.
Also 40?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Daria, and what's the age requirements and what employment conditions that bank usually ask for?
Okay, for different type of clients, we have different requirements. Let's speak about the clients who are residents and who are working here like a salaried person. For them, main requirements about the age, it's same for residents, non-residents, self-employed people. Minimum age should be 21 years for taking the mortgage, and maximum you need to pay off the mortgage till the 65 years. If we will speak about, local people, their age will be a little increased. They need to pay mortgage till the 70 years. Main requirements, if we will speak about the salaried person, main requirements is the salary. Client need to have salary from the company side. This salary should come on the bank account. It cannot be cash. It's forbidden for the mortgage. And minimum salary should be 10,000 dirhams. But it can be accepted only from two banks. Better if client has salary minimum for 15,000 dirhams. In this situation, we can go to different banks and we can easily receive pre-approvals. And of course, we will speak about the minimum length of service in the company. Minimum length of service should be minimum 3 months. But sometimes some banks asking 6 months and some bank asking like 1 year. But it depends from the bank we will do mortgage.
So the person has to work in the company at least 3 months, and he has to have a salary statement for 3 months from the same company, right? Then he's able. Minimum 10,000. What the client can get for a 10,000 of a salary? What's the approval will be around a million or roughly less?
If we will speak about the client whose age before 40 years, and we can take mortgage for maximum tenor like 25 years, it will be around loan amount 600, 700 maximum for 10,000.
Which is enough for studio, right? So if you are getting 10,000 a month, you can afford the studio. Perfect.
And if the client is 60 years old, so basically he can get mortgage only for 5 years, right?
Yes, only for 5 years.
And it is still possible.
It's possible, based on my experience, we have different clients because sometimes, company owners especially, they can have different age, but anyway, we need to take mortgage because it's more profitable for them than using your own money.
Yes, especially for the company owners.
Does the bank look into the company itself, like how old it is on the market, what sort of grade it is, etc.?
Based on my experience, what I see now on the market, mostly bank focusing on the company profile. We're checking website of the company, how strong this company, how many people working in this company, who working in this company, how long company operating on the market. When we're checking landline number of the company, also we're checking office. where the office is located and what is the square feet of this office. Because if company has website, landline number, good office, a lot of people know this, means company very strong and they can provide this good salary for the client. But sometimes client has very high salary, but company don't have any office, don't have enough people in the office. That's why bank, first of all, they check in company profile. And then they check in client profile. Of course, it's about the ACB report also, credit history of the client. Do he has any, check bounce? Do he has any, due payment in his history? And it's main point what bank will check.
If he has any current loans, I guess, like the auto loans and stuff. So the company has to be strong. So if the company doesn't have a proper profile, but the person has quite high salary, it's not going to help, right? Okay.
Unfortunately.
Or fortunately, I think the proper regulations are good because, we already seen the crisis of 2008.
And good to know, that bounce check also has effect on your mortgage, because we face some tenants who doesn't pay sometimes, right? And then in the future they're planning to take a mortgage in order to buy a house. So it's not as easy as people think to avoid, right?
I can tell you more, because if you have some late payment for 80 salad for due, and it will be effect on your credit history, it's also not good. That's why you should be very strong when you create your profile for mortgage. You need to pay everything in time, all bills.
Never heard of it actually. It's nice. How about Diva?
Same,
Even the Diva?
yes, because when you open a CB report with the client, first of all, you will see last 2 years how much salary he received every month. It will be everything mentioned in this ACB report. Also, you will see about the DEVA, about the bills from 80 salary from due. If client has some due payment, it's not good, because his credit history will be not good for you.
Even the utility bills, wow.
Yes,
That's cool. I never heard of that.
We should be
And
very
I missed
careful.
few. Just because you don't remember sometimes, right? That you have to pay. And what about real estate companies? Is it easy to take loan than you real estate, salaried real estate agent?
Okay, mostly my clients from real estate, because it's my main partners who coming to me, and we already found some solution, because when we speak with different banks, some banks told us that real estate company is very risk profile, because they have a lot of money today, tomorrow they don't have anything.
They're commission-based people. It's always
Yes, and in this situation, some banks they ready to work with real estate company, with real estate people who has salary, and we already provide 80% LTV from the property price. But some of them we already provide only 60%. Because it's risk segment, and we should be sure that client has enough money to cover all expenses and ask more down payment. But for real estate companies, like for in other people also, we should have basic salary. It should be same, like minimum 10,000, but better 15,000. Because based on the real estate structure of the company, sometimes real estate brokers, they don't have any salary. We have huge commission. Sometimes it's like 1 million, but client cannot be eligible. Then he didn't have basic
So
salary.
bank don't take it into consideration. Doesn't matter how much you get for commission.
First of all, salary. Then we will check the commissions.
right. As far as I understood, the bank look into the risk, like risk profile. As higher the risk, as higher the down payment you need to pay.
Yes,
right?
yes,
That's
Same for self-employed people. Because if you have company, everything depends on you. That's why we're asking more down payment.
That's the disadvantage of the business owners. And what about the non-residents actually? Because for residents, it's pretty much clear what sort of dogs they need to prove, etc. But there are a lot of rumors in the market that non-residents, they can easily get a mortgage in Dubai nowadays. Is it true?
Yes, because Dubai market is very attractive for non-resident, and policy of the banks also. Main difference, then you need to have down payment 40%, but credit analysis will be same. We will check where these people working, like they are self-employed people or they are salaried people, and we will check how much money they have salary in their home country, and also we'll check how much money they keep on their bank account.
On their local bank account in their home country, right? But how to work with the papers? Because here everything is pretty much regulated. You can download the bank statements. It's easy, you understand if it is legit or not. But getting the statements even from another country, maybe a stupid question, but still it's even on another language. Like how you're going to go through the figures and understand if the client is legit.
When we submit case to the bank, we have some rules and conditions what we need to follow up. First of all, if client coming from different countries, it could be Germany, USA, UK, different countries, but documents should be provided on English language only.
So it has to be legally translated.
Yes. Client need to bring same set of documents. It should be passport, it should be bank statements for last 6 months, it should be income proof, it can be like, company registration document if you're a self-employed person, and it can be salary certificate if you're a salaried person. And also we need to provide residence proof, means that you are really living in this country. It can be driving license or it can be utility bills. And also bank can check, not every bank, but some of them, banks can check credit bureau report from home country. If client has mortgage, personal loan, car loans, different credit cards, it also can affect on eligibility in Dubai.
Okay, what if the client is non-resident and he is self-employed back to his home country? So he's not a salaried, he has his own business, it's 90% of the cases. His down payment is going to be 40% or is going to be increased also?
No. For all clients, non-residents, standard policy, 40% down payment. It not depends that you're a salaried person, you're a self-employed person. It's same conditions. You need to have down payment 40%.
So it doesn't matter if you're salaried or the self-employed, as long as you're non-resident, it's 40%, right? Okay, and how much time is going to take to get an approval for non-residents? Because I'm just going to get to the one of the case studies from the field. I have a buyer, the guy, he just bought a property off plan, and he's following the payment plan. Now we're coming to the handover date where he needs to pay 40% of the property cost on the handover. The building completion certificate is going to be ready in about 6 months, and he would like to mortgage his balance, basically to convert this 40% into the mortgage installments. So can we do that? And if we can, how much time we need to have in order to get ready for that?
Yes, these cases we are doing very often because here in Dubai coming different people from different countries, they purchasing off-plan property, and then after some years we need to make handover payment to developer. In this situation, I recommend a client to come before getting building completion certificate before 1 month.
1 month prior to completion of the building.
Yes, because first of all we need to check his profile. Maybe we need to give him some recommendations about his profile, and when before getting building completion certificate, we need approximately 2 weeks for getting pre-approval. When pre-approval will be ready, client will have 60 days to go to next step for valuation and final approval.
Okay.
For valuation, we need building completion certificate, handover notice. It's main document what we need to submit request for valuation company. When valuation will be done, we will go to final approval.
So basically, they need to come personally 1 month prior to handover, prior to the completion, and then 2 additional months in order to finish the process, right?
No. We can do this process remotely. First of all, we need to submit documents remotely to the bank. We will receive pre-approval remotely. We will do valuation. When final approval will be ready, client need to come to Dubai, need to sign mortgage contract and open bank account in same day.
Makes sense then, right?
That's amazing. Yeah, so most of the process you can do remotely.
Yes, because I have a lot of different non-resident clients. Usually, if a client needs mortgage, from first step, we need 1.5 months to complete the case.
Okay, that's amazing. But how to work with the off-plan property in the sense that 60% of it is already paid? Does he still need to pay some down payment in that case or not?
We can see a statement of account. It's a document what we confirm that how much money client already paid and how much money he need to pay to developer. If he already paid 40% for non-residents, now we're discussing, we can finance to him 60%.
So as long as 40% of the property is already paid, the balance can be financed, right?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
He don't need to make another down payment. Everything got paid already.
And if he paid 60%, you can only finance 40% or still 60%?
We can finance 40%. When payment will be done, we can take additional 20%.
So still it's 40-60 basically, right? And are there any developers that banks are not working with, let's say, in regard to the mortgage of the properties?
Sometimes what I can see on the market, not every developer can provide to you pre-title deed, some documents for handover payment, and some cases can be in stock, but based on the practice, it's only about 1, 2, 3 developers maximum. Mostly this case is going very smooth.
So it's the right thing to choose the right developer also.
And I think it's a great flexibility, when you're just paying half of your property within like 3 years of the construction, and the balance you can still convert into the monthly installments. I think that's a great option. Amazing.
And what is interest rate and what type of mortgages are available in the market at the moment?
Okay, if we'll speak about the type of mortgage, it's approximate 4 different types of a mortgage. First of all, we can do mortgage for resale transactions. Then client will go to secondary market. He will select property that's already completed. Second type, if client wants to buy property on handover stage, it will be a good resale case.
That's the one which we just discussed, right? Okay.
Next, if client wants to make refinancing, he already has mortgage, but now interest rate not good for him, it's very big interest rate. He can do case for refinancing in another bank and he can take less interest rate. But this type of mortgage we can use only for residents. For non-residents, it's not possible. And last type of mortgage, it's called like equity release. Then client already has property and he want, for example, take cash against this property, or he wants to buy another property. They can do this case also. But for cash, it's a little difficult because bank can provide only like 500,000 dirhams.
I've heard up to 60% if you're going to do renovation and then they can pay this money to the contractor. Is it true?
Yes, it's possible. Also, sometimes client coming to us and we want to make renovations for like townhouses, for villa. Yes, it's possible. We can do, and it can be like 60%.
Payable directly to the contractor, or they can use this money their own way?
We need to see, because for reconstruction we can do sometimes only 20%. It depends from the bank policy, because different banks doing these mortgage cases on the market, and everybody has different policies.
In terms of the interest rate, what is the average interest rate on the market, and what's the best way to get the fixed rate or the variable rates? That's the quite common question I get a lot from the clients. What's the differences basically?
Okay, let's start. For resident salaried, interest rate now about 3.99%.
Okay, so very low.
For self-employed people, minimum interest rate 4.49%.
Okay, 4.5. So yes. 4 and 4.5.
For non-resident, interest rate started from 5%, 5.5% till 6%. It's now we are speaking about the fixed interest rate. Fixed interest rate can be for 3 years or maximum for 5 years.
Right. So when I get a mortgage, I only pay the interest rate for the limited amount of years, not for the whole period of the mortgage, right?
Based on the central bank policy, we need to have fixed interest rate, and when after 3 or 5 years, it will be variable interest rate, and it will depend from the YIBOR, first of all, central bank rate. Plus, every bank will put some their margin. It can be like 1.5%, 2%. Approximately like this. And when client coming to me, we counting first of all interest rate for fixed period. It will be less, of course. But if it's resident, I advise them to come to me again after 3 years, and we can make refinancing for another bank, and we again will take fixed interest rate.
After these 3 years of the fixed rates, your rate is going to change significantly or slightly? Let's say you had it 4%, and after 3 years it can jump up to 6, 6.5, etc., or it will still be around pretty much the same amount, or not?
Let's see. For example, if you will account for today, central bank rate approximate 4.5%, plus bank margin approximate like 2%. Means interest rate for variable period will be 6.5%.
Right. So the fixed is 4. After 3 years, it will jump to 6. Yeah, of course, it's based on the central bank regulations, etc. So what I can see a lot on the market that people they just use the fixed rate for 3 years. Once this period ends up, they switch to another bank, and then to another bank, and then to another bank.
And how many times you can do it? There is no limitation. You can just change.
Yes.
So as long as you can, you can use as many banks as you want. Yeah. Just
approximately 20 different banks, and we can go step by step.
And that's totally legal. Like there is no problem with that.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. Because every bank will want to attract more and more clients all the time. We'll be happy.
But would they take any other expenses in this case if you change the bank?
Yes. Let's speak about this point also. If you want to close mortgage in one bank, first of all, you need to pay commissions for early settlement, because you will close all the amount for bank.
So technically when you jump from one bank to another, for the first bank, you close your mortgage completely, yeah, and then you get a new one from another bank.
Yes.
So you pay the early settlement fee.
You
in
need
that
to pay
case.
early settlement. It will be 1% of the outstanding amount, maximum 10,000 dirhams, maximum. Even your mortgage like 20 millions, you need to pay only 10,000. And also you need to pay fees for trustee office because you will do mortgage registration again under another bank. In this situation, you need to pay mortgage registration fee. It will be 4,200. You need to pay again for title deed 590 dirhams, and also you need to pay mortgage creation fee. It will be 0.25% from the loan amount.
And it's every time when you're changing the bank.
Correct.
And it's still more profitable.
It's more profitable because with these expenses we can cover for 1 year, and from second and third year you will already has benefits.
Interesting.
So, okay, connecting to that question. So whenever you get the mortgage approval, you normally, on your final offer letter, you could see your monthly installments. So basically those monthly installments, they are not really fixed, right? If you don't change your bank, you only can see your exact amount only for the next 3 years, while your rate is fixed. After 3 years, your monthly installment will be changed, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's what
In
a lot
final
of people don't
approval.
get, as far as I can see.
In final approval, we can see that approximate monthly installment after 3 years will be like this, but who knows what will be interest rate for central bank after 3 years. It will be going up a lot. Monthly installment also will be.
Yeah, this is the important point, because what I can see from a lot of clients, they see that the monthly installment they see on their final offer letter is the final amount they're gonna pay until end of their mortgage, which is not really the way.
But anyway, Dubai economic is very stable, and when we saw different interest rate for central bank from 2020 till now, it's jumping not too much, minus 0.5 plus 0.5.
Yeah, it's pretty much stable for the past 10, 12 years. I don't see that the rate was
Well,
jumping
there
a
was
lot.
a little bit, few years, it was 5.5
But it was not like 25.
Yeah, a few still. It's
from 399.
It was changing from 399 to 5, like not from 3 to 50.
Yes, yes, yes.
Darya, and what is additional cost that buyer should expect when he takes mortgage from the bank? It's like DLD fee, registration fee, insurance, and so on. How much does it cost approximately on top of the mortgage amount?
Okay, let's start for main expenses from bank side. When client needs submit approval, if we will speak about non-residents, bank will charge some commissions for pre-approval. It will be like approximate 1,000 dirhams. For residents, it will be free. Next, processing fee. Bank will charge this amount when final approval is ready for the client. Again, for non-resident, it will be 1% approximate, but not more than 1%. But for salaried people who are residents or for self-employed people, it will be from 0 till maximum 0.5%. Depends from the bank.
Percent on the loan amount or on the property cost?
Loan amount.
Loan amount.
Loan amount.
Okay.
Then, if you want to make valuation, because it's main part of the case, you need to pay maximum 3,150.
It's for
dirhams.
secondary market or for Okud property also?
It should be for every property, because for every property, this step is necessary. This cost you will pay to the bank. When mortgage will be approved, of course, you need to pay also life insurance and property insurance. Life insurance will calculate it based on the loan amount, and property insurance based on the property price. It will be not too much big numbers, but anyway, for every mortgage we need to do. And you know, sometimes client coming to us and they tell us that we have already insurance for ourselves. Can we use this document? No, it's prohibited from the bank side, because for if you want to take mortgage, you need to make again life insurance and property insurance. Even you already has this insurance from another companies. We cannot use this.
And they have to do it, because if after a few years they're not taking life insurance, what does it mean?
It's impossible.
It's
It's
it is
impossible.
kind of included, or
Yes, you need to pay based on the mortgage contract.
It's in your monthly installments, basically, right?
Sometimes it's additional payment, sometimes it's included in monthly installment. It depends from the bank.
Right. And how much is it roughly? Like what they have to expect?
Okay, let's account for property value 1 million.
Yeah.
It will be approximate like 200 dirhams for property insurance
Monthly.
and monthly. Yeah,
for the duration of the mortgage, correct? Yeah.
correct.
And when we switch the mortgage, what we discussed earlier, from one bank to another, the client needs to buy a new insurance again from another bank, or he can use the old one which he purchased from the previous bank?
If you will make again mortgage contract with another bank, you need again make
Same stuff. All right. Yeah. So you take the whole package from another bank again.
Absolutely, like this.
But still, it's more profitable, right?
Yes, it's still more profitable because if you compare interest rates 6.5% and 4%, especially if your loan amount big, of course it will be more profitable.
And after that, when you go to land department to do the registration, you pay another fees, right?
Yes, for land department we need to pay, if you will buy property in Dubai, we should pay 4% of the property price. If we'll speak about Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, it will be a little less, it will be 2%. Then you need to pay mortgage registration fee, it will be 4,200. And also you need to pay for mortgage also 0.25% from the loan amount for some registration fee also. And title deed fee 590. It's for every property you need to pay.
Okay, talking about additional expenses, what are the penalties or fines in case of the early termination? Early settlement, early termination. Not when you switch the bank, but let's say I got a mortgage for 15 years, yeah, but I'd like to close it earlier, in a 4 years, let's say, and then what will be the fees applied?
Okay, in bank we have different solutions for early settlement. It can be partial settlement. In this situation, every bank has different policy. Some of them we allowed to pay like up to 30% from the loan amount without any fees. What it means, for example, your loan amount like 1 million. 300 you can pay every year without any commissions. But if you want to close more amount, you need to pay 1% from this amount.
From the amount you're paying early, right? So let's say I have a million of the loan, yeah? 30% is roughly 300,000. So I can pay in a year 300,000 without any fees. But if I want to pay, let's say, 500,000, I've got a successful year, then I pay it, but additionally I need to pay 1% of 500,000.
No, you need to pay 1% from 200.
Only from the balance. So 300 I pay free of charge and 1% additionally on additional 200,000.
And let's see now, for example, you pay 500K, your outstanding amount will be 500K for next year. For next year, you can pay off only 30% from the 500, not again 300K.
Okay, amazing. And does it make any sense to settle the mortgage earlier? Because there are lots of arguments and rumors. What's the best, to close your mortgage earlier in 3-4 years or keep it for 15 based on the flexible rate and the monthly installments? In your experience, what would you suggest?
Based on my experience, it depends from the client profile. If we speak about salaried people, of course it's better to put all the money and close mortgage as soon as possible. But if we speak about the self-employed people, they can use this money and invest in their business and to get more profit. That's why for this type of profiles, it's better to keep the mortgage.
But for a few years, the client is still paying interest fee to the bank first, without settling his mortgage monthly payment, right?
If you will see monthly installment, it's include interest rate, approximate 60% of the amount what we need to pay every month, and 40% will be outstanding amount.
Okay, so it's not like 100% only interest to the bank, and then after a few years you start paying for your own house. No, it's mixed. You just need to calculate, I guess.
But of course, from first step you need to pay more percent, and if you will go to 25 years, of course it will be only outstanding amount mostly. That's why I recommend to client to make most settlement in first year, second year, if you have this opportunity and if you have money.
So you also agree with the strategy of paying as much as you can in the first couple of years, just to drop your
Absolutely right.
to drop the amount and not to overpay on the interest, even though it's 4%.
But for some people it's like free money.
Yeah, of course. And how does the Islamic mortgage works? You know, like there are two types of the mortgages, what I heard. Like the normal mortgage, let's call it this way, and the Islamic mortgage, which is, I believe, applicable for the Muslims only, or not? Or is it applicable to non-Muslims as well? What's the difference? Can you just explain?
Yeah, let me tell about this. When client coming to the bank, he can select. He wants to take conventional mortgage with interest rate, with everything, or he want to take Islamic mortgage. But what is the main difference? Main difference only about the names. In Islamic bank, in Islamic policy, you cannot have interest rate.
Based on the Sharia law, you cannot pay the percentage basically.
You will pay rental payment to the bank for your property.
Right.
But it will be same percentage.
Okay.
You will have same monthly installment, you will have same policy, but it will be in our names. That's it.
I heard it is regulated more because it goes through the Sharia law and it goes like a double compliance. Is it true?
No.
No, pretty much the same as the basic standards.
Mostly Muslim people, not mostly, all Muslim people, we want to go only based on the Islamic mortgage. But difference only about the names here.
Okay, so it's basically based on the structure of it. Okay.
And this rental payment is not changing throughout the years?
It will be same. For 3 years it will be a fixed amount, and when it will be variable payment, it will depends from the central bank rate.
So basically they also can change the bank and go to another bank to get the...
Same.
And what about the off-plan properties? We just discussed the case where we need to mortgage the second half of the property, like the final installment, which needs to be paid on the handover normally. But are there any banks in UAE who can finance your off-plan property? You're basically you have to finance your payment plan.
Sometimes we have this request when a client want to buy property on a plan, because especially like very interesting project from MR, from huge and big developers, but we can finance only MR, Nahil, Miraz, Benghazi and Damak for off-plan mortgage.
Only the big players, yeah?
Only big players. And what is the main requirements? First of all, it is possible only for residents. For non-residents, off-plan mortgage is not possible. Next, property should be ready minimum on 50% completion stage. It cannot be like 10%, 12%.
We're talking about construction progress. So 50% of the project has to be finished.
Yes, exactly. And also client need to have down payment 50%. It cannot be 20, it cannot be 40. Minimum it should be 50%. In this situation for MR, for Miraz, for Nahil, for Benghazi, for Damak, we can do off-plan mortgage.
Interesting. Okay, so basically there are a lot of tools.
Yeah, that you can use, right? And Daria, for example, if I'm ready to start the process, of buying the property with the mortgage, what type of documents do you require?
Okay, it's a very easy set of documents, especially for salaried people. It should be KC documents, passport, visa, Emirates ID. Then it should be documents for income proof. For salaried, it's salary certificate, and bank statements where we can check how much amount he receiving from the company side every month. What is the salary?
Do you check how the money is spent there?
For bank, it's very important because if client receive the salary and immediately he withdraw cash, same amount in same day, and he don't have any other transactions, for bank it will be a little strange what's happened. But for client who usually receiving the salary, doing some transactions, it's very good way.
It's fine. Bank is not checking if I spend it in Chanel or restaurant.
We will check. Do you have any bounce check in your bank statements, or maybe you transferring huge amounts money to somebody every month and permanently. But if you do only one time, it's okay.
But if it's family support, is it allowed? If it's the same family name?
Family support, it's allowed, but again, it depends from the amount. For example, if you every month you transfer like 100K, 200K for family support, we will ask some questions.
What's wrong with the family? Why they need so much money, right? Where do they live? Okay, and anything else is required?
Sometimes when we will do the case, main set of documents like this, yes. But when we will do the case, bank will ask sometimes trade license of the company, because if company is small, we need to check this person who comes from a mortgage, maybe he's owner of this company, and we will check trade license. Also, we will check memorandum of authorization of the company, again check who owners of this company. Sometimes we can ask some additional documents about the transactions. For example, if client transferring huge money, huge amount to somebody, we need to have confirmation of relations between all these people. And also we will check labor contract, because sometimes what's happened, people has a very good salary, but in labor contract it's mentioned another amount. It should be same by law.
So it's same amount in your labor contract, the same amount you receive from WPS, and same amount mentioned in a salary certificate.
Absolutely right.
It cannot be done differently, right?
Is there any difference between the properties in Dubai and Abu Dhabi? I mean the mortgages for the property in Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
Process absolutely same, but not every bank can do mortgage for Abu Dhabi property.
Okay.
It's a little less numbers who can do mortgage. Like first Abu Dhabi Bank, Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, Dubai Islamic Bank, we can do.
Why is it different? Is there any reasons for that?
It's only bank policy. That's it.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know that.
Some banks can do mortgage for Ras Al Khaimah, for Sharjah, but not every bank, especially it's Dubai Islamic Bank, they can do for all the Emirates. Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, they can do for all of Emirates. But some of banks, they can do only for Dubai.
Okay.
And I have a question about young buyers. As you mentioned that a person who reached 21 years old, they can apply for mortgage. And I have a client whose daughter now reached this age. She has a property under her name, which is fully paid and generates really good income, you know, around 1 million dirham of the rent per year. Can she apply for mortgage using those money, proving it's her income?
Okay, in bank policy, we have some policy for rental income case. What it means? If client, he has property here, minimum it should be 3 properties, but sometimes we can approve based on exceptions for 1 property also. But it should be a very good amount what generated by rental income. If client has minimum 3 properties and rental income will be more than 650K, we can approve this mortgage based on the rental income.
And in this case, down payment will be the same 20% of
No, in this case, down payment should be 40%.
And if this one property generates 1 million dirhams, is it possible as well to apply?
If you have only 1 property and this property generates 1 million, like an exception, we can do, because we have approximate same case in our practice, we can do. But usually, based on normal policy, you should have minimum 3 properties for take the mortgage based on the rental income.
So if the client is retired, he doesn't work anywhere, he's not self-employed, he just accumulated number of properties over years, he needs to have at least 3 properties.
Correct.
And the total income of those properties has to be 650.
650 is average. Sometimes we can do like for 400, but it's like exceptions in some banks. Let's see based on the client profile first of all.
So it doesn't depend on the property that they're planning to buy. Let's say if the property generates 1 million dirham per year, but they want to buy something which costs 3 million dirhams.
How we will calculate? For example, if client has income 1 million, we will divide it by 12 and we will see what amount he is receiving every month.
Yeah.
Based on this, we will see his eligibility and yes, he can buy property. Like we need to count it.
Okay, so basically it doesn't matter, right? The rules are the same if you're buying property for 3 million or for 30 million.
It depends from eligibility. Of course, if you have more rental income, you will be eligible for more loan amount.
And how does it work for really big properties and big numbers? You know, sometimes I heard the request when the guys are asking to mortgage a villa value of 150 millions or 50 millions. Is it the same, or I think it's a bit more strict? How does it work with the bigger numbers? Because, you know, average mortgage is like 2-3 million dirhams, 5, 6, okay, rarely 10. But how to deal with this sort of luxury properties?
Okay, let's say first of all, in every bank we have maximum loan amount what we can provide.
Right. And how much is that?
25 millions. In some banks it can be only 20 millions. Let's cover 25 millions, it can be maximum.
You cannot borrow more than 25 million.
You cannot borrow for one property. And also depends from the client eligibility. If client has very good and big salary in a huge company and he's eligible for 20 billions, we can do. If client has self-employed profile and he has a big amount on his bank accounts, we also can do. But if you will speak about the property above 5 millions, down payment should be minimum 30%. It cannot be 20%.
So talking about 20% down payment for residents, we are talking only the property value below 3 million.
Below 5 million.
Below 5 million. Anything which is above 5 million, down payment goes to 30. And if you are non-resident and you are buying property above 5 million cost, then it's 50.
It depends from the bank policy, first of all. It can be 40, it can be 50. Depends from the bank.
Okay, very interesting.
And also another question, for example, if client wants to take a mortgage under the company name, and the company should be registered at the bank, right? So is it possible to do or not?
And now we can speak about the commercial cases, yeah? In this situation, we can do mortgage based on the company name, but bank will check not individual profile, will check company profile. What is the revenue for company, how much and long time company operating on the market, audit report, you know, what return report, everything will be checked based on the company documents.
And it is possible with the same terms and conditions?
It's possible, but it's a little more difficult process, but it can be. in practice.
And the rate will be the same.
We need to check these points.
Apparently be different, yeah?
It can be different, because not every bank can do this process.
What if the company doesn't actually make any activity itself? Sometimes the only activity of the company is just to own the property and generate the rental income. There are a lot of cases like that in Dubai. Will this company be eligible for a mortgage in that case if there is no any business activity going on except of generating the rent?
It's also a business, and sometimes mostly this company coming to the market to take mortgage because it's main activity. We will buy property from the market, we will take mortgage and generate rental income. That's why it's possible.
All right. And since we're talking about the companies, is there any difference of getting the mortgage for residential and commercial property? Let's say if I want to buy the apartment, that's what we pretty much cleared that subject. But if I'd like to buy an office, is there any difference in the rates, conditions, terms?
Yes, it will be some difference because first of all we need to understand that loan tenor will be a little less. It will be not same 25 years. Only one bank can do 25 years. Some other banks can do loan tenor only 15 years.
All right. So for the commercial units, the period of the mortgage is going to be shorter, yeah?
It's okay. And then about the LTV, loan to value, it will be only 60% from the property price. It cannot be 80%.
You can finance only 60. So the buying commercial property, the client has to pay 40% down payment minimum, no matter if he's resident or non-resident.
Correct.
Right. And the rate is going to be same or a little higher?
It will be a little higher.
A little higher as well. All right.
But for purchasing commercial property, we can do only resident cases. Non-residents, it's impossible to do.
Okay, so non-resident can't even buy the commercial property. Okay, this is the difference.
And also property should be freehold. It cannot be leasehold property.
All right. And how about the lands, if we're talking this way?
We can do lands. We can finance the land. Again, LTV will be only 60%, but we can do, and when we can do also mortgage for construction property. For example, if somebody want to buy land and when develop the property, we also can finance this point.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So the easiest way is to buy a residential unit where you can pay only 20% down payment and 80% of it will be financed. But if you are buying any commercial or land, your down payment has to be at least 40% and you need to be a resident, right?
Correct.
Okay, I think we discussed pretty much every single topic that clients usually ask us on a daily basis. Thank you so much, Daria, for coming.
It's very useful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a lot of information, and of course our audience will feel more confident in all the mortgage subject. And if you have any other topics you want us to discuss, please comment below, and we will do podcast about it.
And hit the like button.
Yeah.
See you in the next episode.